In 1 minute. The show is about to start. Thank you for your cooperation. Enjoy the show, and please come back and visit us again.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for popping in here and checking this out. I just wanted to do a quick introduction. I know many of you have been wondering what's going on after my lengthy video a couple weeks back talking about my split from Darkness Radio. I wanted to introduce you to the new program. This is the Paranormal 60. I'll show you our fun little banner there. Boom, there you go. The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader, a brand new weekly paranormal podcast videocast that I will be doing here for the time being. And as I accrue more episodes, I will be putting them up as an actual audio podcast that you can follow along with as well. But tonight we start. Tonight is our very first official episode, and I'm excited to bring it to you. I'm excited to be working with my friends on this as well. Although I am the lone host of this series, I will be bringing along some of my friends for video vignettes and moments, some cool stories and sharing time. And I've got tonight a doozy of a show lined up for you. That's right, a doozy, folks. The Paranormal 60, Haunted by the Crone. My special guest, Jason Gowan, celebrity occultist Dan Eckhart, and one of my best buddies, Jeff Belanger, who's going to join me as well for a segment. And with the new show, you're probably wondering, well, what can we expect? As you know, with Darkness Radio, sometimes we would go 65 minutes, sometimes we would go 120 minutes, sometimes we would go indefinitely. The show tells you everything you need to know. This is the Paranormal 60. Each episode is going to be 60 minutes long. And we're going to try to get right to the heart of some of these interesting stories, concepts, thoughts, and beliefs. Most episodes, I'm going to try to include one or two guests to talk about that topic. Some will just be the guest sharing their story. But we're going to get right to the meat and the heart of these incidents and examples. So I hope you'll be here to check that out with us and play along. Tonight, Haunted by the Crone. Jason Gowan, a very good friend of mine, has been a paranormal investigator and entrenched in the field of the paranormal for quite a while. And just recently was talking to me about one of the most chilling experiences that he ever had. So I wanted to have him on to kick this off. And Dan Eckhart, who is a celebrity occultist, I wanted some insight into the phenomena that took place with my friend Jason. So he joins us to give us a little insight. Jeff Belanger joins us. And each week we're going to have some fun segments, different things that we're going to be incorporating. Upon Further Review is one of my favorites. Upon Further Review is a look at some classic horror movies. Upon further review, meaning we're going back and re-examining some of these movies. And I'm going to be bringing along some of my paranormal celebrity friends to task them with watching these movies. And there are going to be some great classics. There are going to be some Z-level horror flicks, and you'll just have to tune in to find out which movie I tasked which celebrity to watch. And I will be talking and having you, the fans, do this with me as well. If there's a movie I would like to task out to one of you. So maybe you'd like to be a part of it. Maybe you'd like to be one of my guest reviewers. I'm going to make it easy for you so you can find me. Now, all you have to do is email me, Dave@paranormal60.com. That's Dave@paranormal60.com. So it's paranormal and then 60.com. That's my email. Yes, I'll still get emails at dave@darknessradio.com if you just can't get used to the new name for a while. But Dave@paranormal60.com will be the best way to reach out to me and be a part of this. So I wanted to let you know about that. And each week we're going to the Macabre Mailbag, where I will be featuring at least one email from you, the listeners, either sharing a creepy, odd story. Maybe you have a question that you really like answered. And if it's a question I can answer for you, I will. If I cannot, I may even have one of our special guests pop in just to answer your email. So I'm going to do my best on that. And no, don't email me saying, okay, Dave, I'm really hoping you can get Zach to stop on and say hi. No, That's not what we're going to do. But if you have specific questions, I will choose the expert that will come in and answer those questions for you. And I wanted to mention that to you as well. We've got some other fun segments. By the book. That's right. We're going by the book. And what that means is we're going to feature some really cool books that are centered around the supernatural and the anomalous. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about a time travel book from our buddy Nick Redfern. So you'll want to check that out as well. I've got spellcasting. We're going to be talking to some of my friends in the magical field to enlighten us on different ways that we can change our life by tapping into the magical realm around us. And I know there are a lot of you like me that are skeptical believers. And when it comes to the magic aspect, a lot of us have a hard time accepting that or understanding what that truly means. So we're going to get some insights into that from some of my friends that are practicing witches and warlocks and magic practitioners, and we'll be having those. Now, these aren't all in each episode. Each episode will have different components that will fit in all within that 60-minute time frame. So I hope that you'll check that out as well. You can also go to the home of the Paranormal 60. It's now at www.theparanormal60.com. Theparanormal60.com. Now, when you go there, you're in for a bit of a cool surprise. I wanted to take a moment to broach and talk about this subject a little bit on its own. For those of you that witnessed the video where I explained that I'd stepped away and turned the reins of control of Darkness Radio over to Tim Dennis, I did my best to try to remain as upbeat and positive throughout that entire video. It was tough because that was my baby. It was something Tim and I created, and to walk away from it is tough. But I didn't want to just go and start a new show that was just an identical clone to what I just came from. So I wanted, out of respect to Tim and what we created, to start up something new, something that's going to have a different vibe and a different feel to it. And I hope that's what you'll find when you watch the very first episode tonight of the Paranormal 60. There was a comment that I did make in that video saying that, it's been, I wouldn't have considered Tim and I friends probably for the last 10 years. And I think that needs a little bit more explanation, because I think people took that in the wrong way. Life gets in the way. As all of you that have followed me for years know, I have propagated children across the globe now. I've got 11 kids between my wife and I, which keeps me busy and hopping. And there's activities, and there's family life, and there's travel for these events that I go out and do, and filming. So in actuality, Tim and I haven't been the buddies we once were. That doesn't mean that we're not friendly to one another or care about one another. As I said, he's a brother. I'll always love and care for him. But that tight friendship just hadn't been there for a while. And I'm not putting that on Tim or specifically on my shoulders, but life gets in the way. We became more of coworkers, and that's about it. And I guess that may make the grading situation feel more sensitive. But I've talked to Tim, I've reached out to Tim, and I wish him well. I will continue to promote Darkness Radio because I do believe it is one of the best in paranormal podcasting. And I hope that you'll continue to show support for Tim and show support for the Paranormal 60. This doesn't have to be a him or me. This isn't Tim versus Dave. This isn't the Paranormal 60 versus Darkness Radio. We can coexist. We're brothers, and we've got two different products. And Tim's going to continue doing Darkness Radio and following a lot of that format. And I know he has some exciting changes and things that are going to be populating on the show now that he has free reign to run amok and do what he'd like to on the program that he's been, quiet about in the past. So he will get that opportunity, and hopefully, we'll cross-pollinate from time to time. And I'll, maybe when the new TV show I'm on starts up, I can go visit Darkness Radio. And as other things are popping and happening in Tim's life, he can pop over onto the Paranormal 60. But I want you to know that we're doing this in a symbiotic relationship. And you'll see that now by going to theparanormal60.com, because when you go to theparanormal60.com, it's also darknessradio.com. We are sharing that website. We are sharing in a united front our two programs to continue to bring out to you. There is no animosity. There is no anger and hatred. Um, it's just people growing. And I want you to realize that. So please don't try to make things out to be other way. Nobody pushed anybody out of anything, after years and hearing Tim and kind of awakening to realize he hasn't had a chance to shine. And perhaps I've been remiss in hearing him through the years or understanding what he was saying. So this way he gets to step up and be the star of the show. And I don't mean that in any kind of denigrating way. I just mean it gives him the chance to be the voice, the face of that program. And hopefully you'll find that this is a good coupling between the Paranormal 60 and Darkness Radio, because we're going to continue to do these type of programs because it's something that we both enjoy. And there are going to be some growing pains. I know some of you are going to say, Dave, 60 minutes, you have 2 or 3 guests showing up talking about different aspects of I like the long form interview. Well, Tim's going to continue with the long form interview, at least as far as I know at this point. So you've got that to go to. But it is a changing world and a changing environment. And most people want shorter, concise segments. And that's what I'm going to bring to you so that when you're listening in the bathroom for 10 minutes, you can listen to a segment. When you're in the shower, you can listen to the second segment. When you're traveling to work, you can listen to the show in its entirety or half of it and come back to it later. And you're going to get 2 or 3 different segments in those time frames that you spend with me. So I know that's the way of the world now. I know that's how people like to hear their programming, at least a majority of you. But it's okay that there's differences. And if you don't like the way that I've taken the show, you still have Darkness Radio to contend with and listen to. And I hope you will continue to do that. I'm trying to think what else there is going on. Anyway, exciting stuff. I'm very happy, very proud to bring you the new program. I see some frowny, angry faces. I don't know what those are for because they don't belong here. This is all good news. Being together but separate. Keeping the challenge open, or not challenge, keeping the doorway open so that the challenges we faced in the past are that they're in the past. This gives Tim and I a broad future to work and bring our product to the market. And I've got a lot of cool stuff. Brand new theme, intro and outro theme by a buddy of mine, Bart, who created them for me. And I'll be playing that at the beginning of the show and end of each show. We've got some graphics, as you've seen. I love these new graphics. Of course, Scully is a big part of who I am, as you can see. And that's why I thought this was a great little logo. Kind of gives you that sense of time. The imagery of Scully is still a part of it. And Scully will remain with Darkness Radio as long as Tim wants to use him as well. Now, let's see. Again, we've got tonight's brand new episode. The very first episode is the Paranormal 60, Haunted by the Crone, Jeff Belanger, Jason Gowan, Dan Eckhart. And at no time do they all share the screen together. Each one gets a time to shine and share their stories and thoughts. Let me see here. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much. Positive vibes. That's right. That's what we need to see here. Change is inevitable, Joe says. I'm excited to see what the future holds. Go get them. Thank you. I appreciate that. Chris says, this is excellent. I hope so. I'm excited, and so does Mary McCullum, apparently. She's excited for the show, so thank you for that. Tabitha also very excited because it's all in caps, so she's committed to this excitement level. Let's see what other comments and questions. And if you have any, I'll be happy to answer some of your questions. Don't come here looking to start trouble between Tim and I because there is none. We're just doing things differently. Let's see. Oh, this is a good question. Ainsley asks, where will we be able to listen to the Paranormal 60? Spotify, Apple Music? Where? Great question. To begin with, we're going to be strictly on YouTube. But Dave, I can't download that and take it with me. I like to have it. I understand that. But until I have 4 to 6 episodes ready to go and in the can, I'm holding off on putting it into a new home. And I'm talking to a few different networks about the Paranormal 60. I've got a few companies that are very excited and interested in carrying the show. I'm also considering just carrying it myself and not being under any constraints or, during political seasons, having them plug in commercials for politicians that we may or may not stand for, things like that. So I'm taking a big look at what we're going to do with this. Because believe it or not, we have very little control when we're at a network with the type of commercials that we get. One of the other networks we worked for, they would plug in commercials for Trump or plug in commercials for Biden and or Clinton or whatever. And all of a sudden I'd lose a chunk of audience as though it was my fault. And they thought I had a say in what commercial came in there. So I'm trying to be very cautious with where I go forward so that I'm not your home for politics. I'm not your home for news. I'm not your home for anything like that. I am strictly going to be entertaining you and sharing some of the weirdest, most fascinating and anomalous stories that I can find on all different aspects of the paranormal, supernatural, and anomalous. So that's what my hope is. So if I do that, I'm trying my best to keep everything free. I'm not going to put this on a Patreon platform. I'm trying to make it as free as I can to everybody because I appreciate you. I appreciate the love and support you've given me over the 16 years of doing Darkness Radio. One thing that will help is if you go to YouTube, look up The Paranormal 60. You can also look up Darkness Radio. It's the same page there at YouTube, but they're both under The Paranormal 60 or Darkness Radio. Just go follow, subscribe, like it. That really helps me out and will get you updated to when new episodes are coming. If you hit that little bell that shows up on the screen at YouTube as well, that will let you know. I'll also be streaming the shows this way. So it's on Twitter through Periscope, it's on Facebook, and it will be on YouTube. So that's the way you can watch along and take it with you. The first episode is tonight at 9 p.m. Central. That's 7 p.m. Pacific. That is 8 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. on the East Coast. And you could check it out. You could be in and chat as well. Let's see what Kevin has to say. I've seen this happen before. People change. They grow apart. If it was your spouse, you might call it quits. Maybe. But that's what we're doing now is making changes. Thank you, Pam Baldwin. I like this. Love and support both you and Tim. And that's all I've ever asked from the get-go. Just continue to love and support us and be there for us because, we both have a voice. We both have a sense. Let's see. I love this. Bring on Shane. Trust me. I have plans for Mr. Pittman. Oh, I've got plans for Mr. Pittman. I'm going to send him into the basement of horror movies, and I'm probably not going to give him a classic. It's going to be something that will hurt him, just like sending him to the basements in the Holzer Files or into the attic of the Holzer Files. I will send him in to watch some crazy-ass horror movie and have him report back. But I'm sure he'll be visiting with me as his new show is going to launch later on this year, his new TV show. So hopefully I can get Shane to join in as well. Kelly Ann McGill, what time in Scotland? I don't know. I don't live in Scotland. You're going to have to do that math yourself. I think if you just go to Google and say 9 p.m. Central equals what time in Scotland, it should tell you. I think America is 6 or 7 hours behind you. That's best I can remember. You guys, I don't know where everything falls in on that side of the planet, so I apologize. Yeah, Teresa, we've already got a poor Shane. First poor Shane, and he hasn't even shown up on the show yet. So let's see. Dave, will Snallygaster make an appearance on the show? Listen, Snally does as Snally wants. I am not one that's going to force him. If he shows up, he shows up. And the door is always open. Like I said, we've got a lot of great little vignettes that we'll be doing throughout time here on the show and different little topics that we'll cover. And I do hope to cover more with crypto and fun stuff that we'll have popping up. And you can email me, Dave at paranormal60.com. That's 60. Dave at paranormal60.com. And if you have topics that you'd like to hear, you can email me about that. Again, it helps if you send me links to those guests or the authors, anything that can help me connect with them a little easier. If you are an author, you can connect with me and let me know. I know that we've got a show coming up on the Boogeyman. we've got a show coming up on a property that claims to be as active, if not more, than the Skinwalker Ranch. We also have animal communication and more coming up on the program. So that's just a little taste of what's going on. And once or twice a week, I may right now. I believe we're going to do one episode per week. For the next 4 to 6 weeks, I've got a lot on my plate, a lot going on, and still dealing with health issues with family here at home. My eventual hope here is within the next 2 months to be on Mondays and Fridays with brand new episodes. But we'll be covering some news stories, not like supernatural news that Tim will continue with over at Darkness Radio, but I'll just focus on 1 or 2 news stories of the week that I find fascinating, and I might even have a guest pop on to talk about those stories. Somebody that might be in the know regarding those stories or have an insight or a unique perspective to those stories. My goal is to have a lot of voices and to have more than just the ones in my head, to have a lot of voices and a lot of perspectives shared in that 60 minutes. So it's boom, 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 body shots all the way through, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. We're going to have fun. We're going to be intense when it needs to be intense. We're going to laugh when we need to laugh. Tonight, I have Jeff Belanger reviewing Night of the Lepus. That's the horror movie, and we definitely have some fun and laughter through that. And then we've got a more intense subject that'll be at the beginning of the show tonight as we talk about Haunted by the Crone, the very strange and terrifying haunting that Jason Gowan, his wife, and infant son had to deal with. Dan Eckhart joins us tonight as well as a celebrity occultist. He will talk to us about the Crone, about these type of hauntings, and how these things happen. How do we open those doors? So, like I said, it's a good opportunity to put that out there. Pamela Heffernan Collins asks, "Will you set up a Venmo or Patreon so we can show you our financial support?" Pamela, I'm considering that. I'm going to stay away from Patreon because when we did True Crime Tuesday on Patreon, all I got was complaints that it staggered, it caused problems. That it caused a lot of issues. So I don't want to cause that kind of problem. I want to try to be as easy and free flowing as possible. There is a considerable expense if I end up doing this on my own without a network. It could be anywhere from $350 to $500 a month just for the streaming features that will need to be done. And, I might put up a donation or a Venmo thing at that point that if you want to and feel so obliged, you can make that donation. But again, I don't know where I sit on that. I'm not sure, but I appreciate the generosity and love from many of you that have offered to pay. And part of the reason I'm not taking it over to a paid subscription base is, listen, right now with Darkness Radio, we get listeners from all across the world. At any given time, we've got 18 to 32,000 people downloading one episode after it airs. I know I could get 1,000 people that are willing to subscribe right now, and that would make a nice little wage for me every month. But I would rather talk to 32,000 than just 1,000 that have the wherewithal or the money to pay me. So I'm going to do my best to, as I said, keep the cost down on this, and make it available and affordable for everybody to be a part of. So please keep that in mind as well. I'm sure if I do end up on one of these networks, they may offer a subscription-based program like Stitcher or Podcast One did, where it's completely commercial free, and then you get the normal standard one, which has commercials in it, and that'll be free to you as well. Chris Myers wants to know, am I still willing to share my package? Yes, I still have a package for sale. It is my book, The Other Side, A Guide to Ghost Hunting and the Paranormal, autographed. That's $20 on its own. I've got an autographed picture. It's now a big, flashy, nice 8x10. That is that image of the 2 screaming ghosts next to me that you saw in our, let me pull it up. I'll pull it up. So it's going to be like this without the Paranormal 60 logo on there, but that will be on. I'll autograph that picture. That's $20. And then there's a Darkness Radio decal that comes with, and that's a $10 value. You get the entire set for $40. Plus, I think it's $5.99 shipping and handling. So if you are interested in getting one of those kits, you can just email me and Dave at paranormal60.com. Dave at paranormal60.com. I'll push that over to Winnie, and she will send you out an invoice for it, and we'll get those kits out and in the mail immediately. I also found, I'm going to be honest with you about this, I have a box of mismatched t-shirts. I don't think I've got anything more than men's large, medium, and small, and some women's large, medium, and small left. No extra large sizes. I apologize. We were asking $30 a t-shirt on those. If you would like, you can also email me about the t-shirts. They're Darkness Radio t-shirts with Scully on them, and then our microphone logo on the back. And I've only got, I don't know, maybe 40 shirts left, period. And it's a mix of men's and women's, large, medium, and smalls. So if you are interested, they're normally $30 a t-shirt because they're smaller sizes, and I might not have enough. I'll just go $20 plus your shipping and handling. You can email me about that. But I don't want to turn this into a pitch for all of this. So thank you. Do I take PayPal? For the kits and packages, yes, we do PayPal. And I know there are some of you that are like, oh, but I don't pay through PayPal. I don't have you can go in as PayPal as a guest. You don't even have to have a PayPal account to pay for these things. And why not have the picture with the Paranormal 60 on it? Because I haven't had those printed up yet. Perhaps in the future, I'll make those available. Right now, it's just got the image with me on it. It says Darkness Radio and the Holzer files on the bottom. But I do have those nice 8x10s available. Let's see here. Lena wants to know, is the show going to be on nightly? It is not. Right now, we're going to start off Mondays. Monday nights, the new episodes will air. Like I said, after a month or two, I'm hoping to move to Monday and Friday nights so that you can, have more content. But right now, I want to focus on, in our family, as I mentioned in the other video, we've had a really rough time. Christmas Eve, a quarter of our family came down with a horrible stomach virus, damn near put a couple of us in the hospital. And then, as it is once, that just kind of jumped from person to person in our household. So we literally went basically from Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve fighting that stomach virus and trying to stay safe. Then, there was a bad cold that went around, and then I kept this off of social media because I don't like people politicizing me with this, but I did get COVID. Now 2 of our boys have COVID, and thankfully that's all that's been affected, and been dealing with that. Winnie, because of the stomach virus, kicked in another autoimmune issue. So she's got rheumatoid arthritis and Crohn's, which she's been dealing with for, I think the better part of 10 years. She's now dealing with fibromyalgia. So her body is completely racked in pain. So keep sending thoughts and prayers out for her if you could. Just so many things going on health-wise, and we're trying to get everybody healthy and happy and back on their feet. So I am right now going to be on Monday nights. It'll be 9 p.m. Central. Figure it out for your time there. 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Pacific. And then, like I said, after maybe 4 to 8 weeks, I'm planning on trying to roll over to Mondays and Fridays. And then these audio podcasts versions will be over on one of the new platforms. So I'm going to make it available so you can hopefully pick it up everywhere you pick up Darkness Radio as well. Now, I do want to tell you, tonight's episode, when you pop on and watch the episode, there are moments where, like at the beginning, you're just going to see that static image of the Paranormal 60 as I'm talking. Then it'll go to live video with me interviewing the guests, and then of course we'll pop up some pictures about what we're talking about. So it's interactive. There will be some of it's just a flat image, some of it is video. Definitely the video at the end tonight of the movie review is Jeff and I bantering back and forth and showing the trailer for Night of the Lepus and having a good time. So I hope you'll check that out. It'll be a multimedia mix that we'll be doing here. And this was the very first episode that I filmed and created. So there's, a few little lags here and there, but I'm working on getting all that handled so that it runs smoothly. I hope you guys will check it out, and please give me your feedback on the YouTube post or on social media. Let me know what your thoughts are, or you can email me, dave@paranormal60.com. Let's see. Thank you very much, Ubu Pere. I hope I said that right. Sending continued healing. We appreciate that. Sending a little love from Tabitha Meadows to Winnie. Thank you. We appreciate that. Let's see. I have been keeping Winnie in my prayers as someone that deals with my own autoimmune issues. I know how hard that can be. Yeah, it is brutal. It's really tough, and this woman still gets up and makes dinner and does dishes and wants to stay active so that she doesn't start locking up. So I give a lot of kudos to her. And well, Dave, why aren't you doing that? I do. I help out as well. But as I said, I've been sick and had to stay quarantined in my room for almost 8 days until I tested negative for COVID because I couldn't take the risk of infecting her. We really lucked out by her not getting COVID. So that on top of everything else she had could have been devastating. So we are all vaxxed. We are all boosted. I don't care what your thoughts are on that. I'm not asking and I'm not requesting you tell me, and I don't want you to tell me what you think about me being vaxxed or boosted. What I do is my life, and we'll leave it at that. So our family is vaxxed and boosted, and we all got over it very quickly. It was like a bad cold. The boys, one of them has now tested negative. The other one is still positive. We're hoping he'll be over that in the next few days. But we believe that it is because we were vaxxed and boosted that it was such an easy transition for us with the virus that we got. But that's neither here nor there. As I said, I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk major news or things that are creating division in our world, because that's not what I'm about. I want to be entertaining, enlighten you, educate you, have a little bit of fun. All right. Thank you very much. Deborah says, hoping everyone feels better soon. Praying for all of you. Carla says, my mom also had RA and fibromyalgia. It's a cruel disease. Sending love and healthy vibes. Thank you. We appreciate that. What is this? Dangerous Curve says, Snally could sing the best of Steely Dan and we could achieve world peace. I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's the one thing that I believe Steely Dan, Fleetwood Mac, Snally, and I, we agree those two bands are just not in our wheelhouse. We love music, but not that. Crazy stuff. A lot of other cool things going on. I will make a quick mention to you coming up soon, very, very soon, as a matter of fact, in the beginning of March, Mystic and Mystery Weekend, March 4th through the 6th in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. And this is going to be a really cool event. It's going to be great. 1912 haunted historic Hoover House. There's going to be vendors, tattoo artists, Akashic readings, scrying, Reiki, psychic and tarot readings, runes, aura photography, table tipping, meditation, and more. And there will be a ghost hunt. They are open for ticket sales. You can find information on all of that at darknessevents.com. That's darknessevents.com. Let me see. There you go. Another question. Dangerous Curves. Where can we send guests and show ideas? I missed it. Just email me, Dave at paranormal60.com. That's paranormal60.com. And I'll tell you what, I'll put that right up on this page so that you guys can see this as this continues to roll out. I'm just going to go for a few more minutes here. I want to thank all of you that have popped on willy-nilly checking for this. The Darkness Radio page will continue to have the live episodes on Monday. They'll also be on my Darkness Radio Twitter page or Twitter feed, and on the Paranormal 60 and Darkness Radio YouTube page. So you'll be able to find all of those there for the episodes as they become available. And then hopefully, as I said, within the next 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, it'll be up on a regular podcast. The audio versions will be up on regular podcasts so that you can tune in and listen from anywhere. So again, do me a huge favor. Go to my YouTube channel, The Paranormal 60, and like it, follow it, hit the little bell so you're alerted every time new content comes out. And aside from doing the episodes, I may pop on from time to time to do Q&As like this. I might be available to talk about something specific in the news that fascinated me, that isn't enough for an entire episode of the Paranormal 60, but warrants conversation. So who knows? Just keep watching. But the best way to find out is by hitting that little bell at the Paranormal 60 YouTube page so that you don't miss out on any of the content. Follow and subscribe. It's free. Hit that little bell. I want to thank all of you that have shown me love and support over the last couple of weeks since I made the announcement, and continue to show love and support for Tim. I just ask, please, don't beat up on Tim. Don't say negative or nasty things to Tim. This isn't Tim versus Dave. This is Dave wanted to go and freshen his brain and mind and life and do something different. And Tim's taken the helm of the other ship. So that's all that matters. And we're not two steamships heading into a collision course. We are two steamships riding side by side into the night. And we are friends and friendly. We are hoping to, like I said, cross-pollinate on the shows from time to time. And you'll be able to, I'm hoping, hear me pop up on Darkness Radio, maybe when the new TV show launches. I'll have Tim pop over onto the Paranormal 60 from time to time. So just, keep that all in mind. I've been giving you all the support over 10 years and I'm not stopping now. Thank you, Razorburn. That's exactly what we love to hear. And Julie Weber, she says, looking forward to both shows. And that's the kind of love and support I appreciate. And we have always appreciated, that listening to the show, we've always tried to propagate love and kindness. And, it doesn't mean that behind the scenes there wasn't a little friction, but there is in every walk of life. There's friction at home, friction at work, friction walking your damn dog. There's always a little friction, but sometimes you just take a break from that and do something that feels services you better and gives you a chance to try something new. And that's what the Paranormal 60 is. So I hope that you'll be checking that out as well. John Howe, thank you. He says, good to see you. We'll be following you tonight. Again, remember to check it out tonight. Thank you, John. We appreciate your love and support on that. And check it out tonight, our very first episode, the Paranormal 60, Haunted by the Crone. Jason Gowan is the real life experiencer of this terrifying story. Dan Eckhart is a celebrity occultist and a good friend of ours that will come on and talk to us a little bit about it. Jeff Belanger will be doing a movie review upon further review as we talk about Night of the Lepus. And you've got me. So that's what's going on. And I can't tell you how much it means to me that you guys care. So tune in tonight. Keep in touch. Dave at paranormal60.com. That's Dave at paranormal60.com. You can check out the paranormal60.com website to keep up with me there. There's tabs for Darkness Radio. There's tabs for Paranormal 60. There's tabs on all of the stuff that we're doing, events, our shop, all of that. So it's all still up on the site, and that's what's going on. So with that said, I want to thank all of you for spending some time here with me today and letting me introduce this to you. And tune in tonight. I hope you enjoy the Paranormal 60.